guys, my name is Kostif and welcome to another video. Again, this video is just sort of like just to keep you all up to date on what's going on and sort of like the process of where we are. So currently, as far as the server and the project goes in the total, we are relatively quite far, as in gameplay wise, but there's a lot of things which need to be done, which I'll explain in a bit. So, for example, we've got all the monsters with their drop tables. The XP rates are, I guess, average right now. We've got skilling literally pretty much done. It's 100% perfect. It's all balanced and it's the same as Runescape, so it's the exact same as Runescape's XP table, so you can't go wrong there. But then you're probably thinking, quests, you could literally just release a server now and then add quests now and then. But it's not as easy as that, because there's a lot of other stuff we need to do first. And I'm just going to give you a quick rundown on sort of like what that is, so you can sort of like get an idea of exactly like what we're doing. So, to begin with, it is very difficult to find all the miscellaneous stuff. So when I say miscellaneous stuff, I mean, for example, you are seeing me making the Cook's Guild. So because we've got skills sort of like pretty much all done, it would be sort of like a good idea to create the guild, so you have some sort of like benefits for, I don't know, let's say if I'm cooking, I get to level 32 cooking, I believe it is, for the cooking guild, or the Cook's Guild. You can you can use the Cook's Guild for the benefits pretty much, and those benefits aren't really that impressive as at the moment, because there's not much stuff like the bank, where you need to do the elite barracks, I believe, to unlock. But yeah. But anyway, it's just nice to have a Cook's Guild. Where other places like the Crafters Guild get their own sort of like place to mine clay and other stuff, of gold ore, so you can make jewelry with good XP rates. You got like the prayer guild, where you can there's not really much you can do with the prayer guild apart from just use the altar, which is, I guess, closest to the bank, which is Edgeville. I guess we'll add monk robes in there, which give you, I don't know, some sort of boost to, I don't know, let's say prayer. So, I don't know, let's say if I want superhuman strength, which is like 32 prayer, and I'm like 28, if I wear like full prayer robes, it'll give me like boosted prayer level to that much. I don't know, something like that really. But we've got all that stuff to do. So the miscellaneous stuff, recently, Linz, who joined our team recently, is working on quests with me. I know I'm making the Cook's Guild, but we are doing some other bug fixes and all that stuff in the meantime. But I felt the Cook's Guild, I previously made Tutorial Island and the Blood Ritual. Blood Ritual is pretty much the Blood Pact quest in RuneScape, but as is custom, and it's got the same aspect, but it's just different. But as I was saying, with Linz, and she's doing Cook's Assistant, we need to get everything pretty much done. Like, obviously that makes sense, but the miscellaneous stuff is, for example, you need to get a pot of flour, egg, and a bucket of milk for the cook, so you can finish Cook's Assistant. The egg you can get from the egg actually was non-obtainable in the game, but what I had to do was I had to make just chickens drop it pretty much. So I had to sort of like add eggs to the chickens drop table. The bucket of milk, there's not a cow which you can just sort of like go up to and use like a bucket on it and sort of like get its milk. Obviously, the ones which stand still and all that stuff, we don't have those, because it would slightly be difficult to do, as there's a lot of mechanics in Number Notes 2 which you can't do the same as RuneScape pretty much, which can be a pain. Um, but bucket of milk, what I did was you could just buy a bucket of milk from Gielinor, I believe, the woman who sort of like roams around the cow field in Lumbridge. You could just buy a bucket of milk from her for like 10 gold. But the part of flour, it's we need to make everything work together. So if you have like an empty bucket, well, not an empty bucket, you need to get like you need to go to a wheat field to get wheat first, and then you need to go to a mill and sort of like put the wheat in the hopper. Um, Sorry, I just need to write this dialogue, which I can't talk while trying to write at the same time, which is can be a pain when making a video. So, welcome, fellow chef. Interested in my wares. So this guy, as you see on Runescape, he sells pies, but obviously, in Runescape, literally, well, most of the shops, shops like, I know, the sword shops in Varrock and, like, I know, the plate body shops in Ardoing, they sell items, but a lot of the shops, the miscellaneous shops, like, this pie shop, for example, and, I don't know, let's say the jewelry shop in, what do you call it, Port Sarim, and a lot of the fishing shops, they always, I understand why, it has zero quantity, but it can be very, very pointless. So obviously, on our server, there's not going to be, I know it's new, and it's a big MMO. There's not going to be as many items in game. So something like red, I don't know, say meat pies. Everybody isn't going to start making meat pies in the project while on the server. So what we've done is we've just made it like these quantities like available to purchase. So let's say if I log on the server and I entered the Cook's Guild, I would be able to buy like red berry pies and all that stuff pretty much. But I understand why RuneScape has it so there's no quantity, so you can just sell it and then other people can buy it. But it's very pointless, to be honest. So are you interested in my wares? Yes. Please. No. Thanks. So anyways, now that's sort of like done with the dialogue. It's like I was saying with the wheat and all that stuff. We need to make every miscellaneous stuff. Recently, another situation with pies, for example. As we were just looking at pies, we need to make it so if you have like a pie chow, I know it's pie dish, then there's a pie chow if you put the pastry in it, but a pie chow. I don't know, cooked meat and pastry dough. If you have all those three items, you need to be able to sort of like turn them into an uncooked meat pie, and then you can cook that pie pretty much. So we need to sort of like get, and that's just one pie. So there's other pies like red berry pie, apple pie. Then it's the same with pizzas. You like all the toppings and stuff. It can get really annoying because you need to make all these things work. Like I know, like I just said, you need to make all these functions work together. So if you have like a pie shell, it needs to be configured. So it needs to check. Well, also need to make it. Obviously, we need to make it so it's not bugged to death. So we need to make sure that there's no. If you could make a meat pie without the meat fillings. We need to make all that, and as well as doing the other stuff. So if you use like the meat inside a pie shell, does the meat sort of like get destroyed from your inventory, and you get like this uncooked meat pie? Pie shop Cook's Guild. So it's looking at that is obviously all the simple things, getting everything tweaked to sort of like work, but then there's a lot more stuff to do as well. Which is such as trying to think. It's one is the feats. I haven't really spoken much about feats. What feats are for anybody who's unsure about those type of things in video games. Feats are sort of like a boost or bonus. It can either be sort of like something you can activate, or I don't know, like an ability, or a lot of passive. It's mostly passives, but it builds your character pretty much, and I personally think it's a great way to sort of like, because in RuneScape you have, let's say pures and PvP situations. You've got, well, let's use free to play as well, because members, you can do like weapon switches with spec weapons and all that stuff, and then it slightly relies on skill, but then RuneScape's all about luck. Um, with Nemesis Knights 2 and their feats, if, for example, I don't know, you get like, I don't know, let's say in RuneScape first, so you get like a level 40 attack and 50 strength pure. Let's just say they aren't hybriding, so no mage, no range. If you put two of those together in a fight, then they're equally. It's all about luck on hits, pretty much. So there's no really skill. It's just all about luck, who hits the most. Because I've always been a pure in the early stages of RuneScape, so it's. You can't. I've had times where I've constantly hit, or there's times where I've hit like about 7 zeros in a row. But with Nemesis Knights 2 feats, what these do is, let's say RuneScape had feats, and they let you sort of like build your character better. So let's say that level 40 attack and 50 strength pure. Let's say one person specialized in using a rune scimitar, while this other person had like he had feats everywhere. So like, I don't know, he specialized in like daggers, but he was using a rune scimitar. He had specialized in stuff like, I know, spell resistant. So the guy who specialized in the rune scimitar is going to be doing more damage because he's using his weapon, whereas the guy who specialized in the daggers but using a scimitar, he's going to be doing like, obviously he's going to still be doing damage, but he's going to have a disadvantage pretty much. So feats in Nemesis Knights 2 and our project, they're all about specializing in sort of like building, because it's not, if you see two fighters, they aren't going to be the same, assuming they know how, assuming they build their feats how they want them. But it's not like RuneScape where you just see two melee people and they're the same, But feats, again, it's slightly similar to spells. In Nemesis Knights 2, there's a lot of spells which we had to remove. There's like, I don't know, there's like over 1,000 line of spells. I swear there's over 1,000. I know there was something like 2,000 lines of data, and had to literally remove, carefully remove every single one. But obviously the spells are limited now, so feats are similar to the spells. Feats, there are some feats I don't want players having, such as there's a feat which is called Monkey Grip, which lets the player dual wield two-handed swords. So obviously, if you're a fan of RuneScape, you don't want to be dual wielding Armadillo God swords whenever we release them, or rune two-handers. That's going to be pretty stupid and OP. But obviously, it decreases your accuracy, but still. When we have weapons like, Armadillo God Swords, which have such a massive damage boost, the accuracy isn't going to be a problem, because you're probably going to end up one-hitting somebody if you do hit. But, stuff like that. There's a lot of weapons in Nemesis Knights 2 which we aren't using. We're only using the same weapons as RuneScape. So there's weapons like the Kukri, the Shuriken, scythes, bastard swords, double-bladed axes. There's even like stuff like grenades. There's a great axes, which is like, it's like a two-hander but it's an axe, and stuff like that. So we're removing those feats. So let's say you log in and you're creating a character, you can only see feats which is only available. So you don't want to be putting like you don't want to be specializing in like a scythe, because what's the point of that? There's no scythes in game. So we would need to stuff like remove feats like that. then again, it's just all about finding bugs. We've created literally just an MMO game, and there's only like, well, considering it was only just me to begin with, and there's only like a few handful of us, testing an entire MMO is very, very hard. So it's all about testing. So yeah, I'm actually not going to worry about that for now, but I'll worry about it off camera. But anyways, that's just sort of like an update video on sort of like progress. Hopefully, I got my point across. It's to summarize it all up. We are just literally just working on quests and getting all the miscellaneous stuff working, which I explained quite a lot in depth earlier. So it's just all that stuff really. So I hope you guys enjoyed this update video. Next few videos will be more interesting and engaging. So thank you for watching, and see you later. Peace.